everyone, I'm Angelina and this is Blueprint DIY, where we remake our clothes to be just as unique as us. I am super excited about today's video. I told you guys a while back that I've been wanting to get into more pattern and more color. Well, today is the day and I know you guys are gonna love it. As you know, I gave you guys a list of upcycles to choose from and 3 and 5 were the absolute favorites. This is 5. If you're interested in that video, click it right here. But today we're doing number 2. And instead of doing in cream, because I am actually running out of men's dress shirts to upcycle, I had this men's Hawaiian shirt and this fuchsia t-shirt. So I'm gonna do these two. Yes, one is going to be completely no-sew, just scissors. You guys have seen me do this before with this orange top and it's gonna be a similar technique. So I hope you guys are ready, and we're actually gonna do the no-sew first because doing the measurements and understanding the process of the no-sew is definitely gonna help you with the sewing. And before I do that, if you didn't know, I am doing a virtual meet and greet. You guys will get to meet me one-on-one. We'll chat. You can show me your projects and everything like that. Just get to know one another. If you're interested, the link to the tickets are in the description box below, so definitely go check that out. It is Monday, May 18th, so it's coming up fast. All right, let's get into this video. All right, so let's do this really quick. Absolute no-sew upcycle. I have on this t-shirt. Feel free to use 2 t-shirts if you want to use like contrasting colors to make it super interesting. Definitely do that. But let's take a few measurements first so you'll know where to cut. Okay, so here's the inspiration pick, and I'm going to refer to these as the peplum length, the bust, the top layer length, and the other layers or the bottom layer length. So my peplum length is whatever length I want this to be. I know a lot of you guys do not want to show any type of belly. You don't want it to be a crop top. So I try to reiterate that in every project. Feel free to make this part as long as you would like it to be. My bust, and also from the top of your bust, how far down do you want that top layer to go? I think I want my top layer to go about 3.5 inches and then my bottom layer to go about 5 inches. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss anything, because when we hit 100,000 subscribers, and we're almost there, I am doing a special upcycle for one special subscriber. So it definitely could be you. So definitely share this video and let everybody know all the amazing stuff going on here. We're cutting 2 pieces off the t-shirt, overlaying one on top of the other and using t-shirt yarn to gather them. All right, so we're gonna cut 2 pieces. Our first piece is going to be your peplum length plus your bust plus your top layer length. Mine is 4 inches plus 6 inches plus 3.5, which is 13.5 inches. Now for the next piece, I'm going to cut a piece that is, and this looks like it is getting shorter by the moment. I may not have enough. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is mark off our layers. Our peplum layer is 4 inches. Our bust layer is 6 inches, so 6 plus 4 is 10 from the bottom. Because basically what I want is I want this layer and this layer to be bigger than this layer, the number to be bigger, but I want this layer to be smaller than this layer. We're gonna fold this layer along the line and make little slits all along the edge, just like we did for our orange no-sew t-shirt a couple weeks ago. And you just wanna make your slits about 1 inch apart. And for this, just make sure that your scissors are sharp and that they have a nice tip. All right, so once we open it up, there should be little slits all along that line. All right, so for the next part, we need to slide this part on top of this part and line these lines up. Actually, what it makes sense to do is fold this one along the line, its line, and then place it on the line of the other one. And then this is gonna fold over that. So you should see 3 layers, 1, 2, 3. And they should not be right together. They should layer like this. Let's get to cutting the little slits on this edge all the way around. And some of my snips are actually a little bit big, so I actually really want to get just right on that edge. All right, so now we can open everything. Oh, be careful. Okay. Just take 2 layers, open 2 layers up, because that should stay put. Now with what we have left over, we need to cut off some t-shirt yarn. So this t-shirt yarn is going to be, you're going to need 2 strips that will go around your waist and then 2 strips that will act as straps. So hopefully this will be the one that'll be my straps, so I can cut it in half. We need a safety pin and we need our t-shirt yarn. And one is to gather this section, one is to gather this section. We're gonna take our safety pin, add it to the end. I always fold it over just so that the safety pin doesn't rip the edge of the t-shirt. And I'm going to find the middle of the shirt and begin to take it through. And you just take it in and out. And if any of your holes are not big enough to do this, just snip them a little bit more. Just be careful not to let the other end go through the first hole before you get around to the other side. And I'm actually going to do this simultaneously so that my lines don't come out of sync when I'm turning this over. So I'm just going to tie it in the middle right there, just for now. I'm a little bit concerned that my layers are not going to be long enough to really hang down, but once I get it on, we'll see. I'm going to cut this last one in half. I'm going to tie it. And this is actually better to do while you have the top on, because then you'll know exactly where this should be. All right, so let's see how this one turned out. I mean, I really like this. This is definitely something I would wear on a summer day, just going out the house. And then even if you want to put it on with something dressy, you could do that as well. So for a no-sew top from a t-shirt, this is definitely a winner. All right, so let's do the second one. This is the sewing one. I really wish I had like a neutral one because I'm not exactly sure how the print is going to come out, but I'm going to try it anyway. All right, so I have my dress shirt laid out, and you may hear some dishes being done in the background. Hey, that's just part of quarantine. I gotta keep it moving. But the thing that you want, now that's just too much. Oh my god. All right, the thing that you want to pay attention to is the fact that the bottom of my shirt is just straight. This is actually odd in a men's dress shirt. They normally don't go just straight, but this one is a bonus because it does go straight. So I am going to be able to use this as the hem for the bottom of my shirt. We're going to be cutting all of our layers out on this, and definitely make sure you leave seam allowance. So my bottom peplum layer was 4 inches. Then I had my top layer, which I wanted to be 3.5 inches. And then I had my 2 other layers that were going to be 4 inches and 5 inches. This is first layer, second layer, third layer. All right, so we're going to make the bodice piece. Mine measured to be 6 inches, so I'm going to cut 7 inches to make sure I have seam allowance. And you definitely want to make sure that this is wide enough, you know, divided by 2 to cover your bust measurement. All right, so this top is actually going to have a little bit of an opening up at the top. So I'm going to use the button as a holder. It's going to actually close the top up as well as, and look, if your bust is bigger, you will be using more than one button. What you can do is just angle it like this and move that button over to there so that you can have more bust area. So what I'm going to do is just simply cut straight across here. The other thing I want to do is, you guys remember last week we used the little bra trick. It can be an old bra, but it does need to fit. We want to make a dart, or make 2 darts, one on each side. I'm going to make the back piece match that way. What I want to do is, like I said, my bust measurement is 37, which is 18.5. So I want to go and make a seam that is 18.5, which is, oh my gosh, like almost dead on. I just need to sew this up on the limits of this and then try it on and see where we are. I can also sew in my darts and see how that goes. And I can also hem one edge of all of my layers. And all I'm gonna do is double fold hem these. And then once I do that, I can go ahead and iron that hem flat. And if you ever get stuck, you guys know that I have a free Facebook group, and the link is in the description box below. It's just a group that if you could post your before and afters, and if you get stuck, you can ask for help. And there's a bunch of other upcyclers that are there and willing to help you. All right, so this is what it looks like. And actually, I prefer the bottom button. So the seam right there to connect the little ruffle is gonna be, woo, that's gonna be tight. I'm gonna leave the top button just in case, you know, you want to just be a little bit more, you know, secure, but you can't open it up. So I have it folded down. I had all of this extra that I thought I was gonna need. The darts are actually pretty good. I'm happy with those. And it definitely needs to be taken in on the sides. So I'm going to reverse it so that as I pinch it to take it in, I don't have to take those pins out. I can just leave them in and go ahead and sew. All right, so that's the little bra part. And since I tried it on the last time and I know that it fits, I'm gonna go ahead and cut off the excess and serge these edges so we can go ahead and start sewing our layers on. We can go ahead and begin to gather our layers. Open up your tension thread all the way to the highest setting. My highest setting is 9, but no matter what your setting is, just take it to the highest setting. And then if you take that stitch length to its highest setting, then you can gather automatically. And see, this machine gathers just a little bit. Some machines will gather it a whole lot. The side you pull is the one that looks like this, not the one that looks like this. All right, so all of my layers have been gathered, and I'm gonna attach the bottom layer first. So the great thing about this is that it has side seams. Everything has side seams. So in order to get everything synced up, I guess, I can pin or clip the side seams together and adjust it so that this matches, the back part matches, and then that matches. All right, so once I have it all gathered and even, I can go and sew it together. All right, so I just wanted to show it to you guys at this point. I'm trying it on and I really want another buttonhole, and then I'm gonna take one of the other buttons and put it right here, so I just get that extra pull right in the middle to make sure we don't have any nip slips or no slips or nothing. But yes, I want to show it to you guys at this point for all of those of you who, you know, are digging it just like this and just want a cute little top with a ruffle. And if you were curious, I don't have on a strapless bra, I have on silicone bra. It's just like the silicone thing that sticks to each side. So that's what you would wear with something like this. I know I'm gonna get a bunch of comments that say, you know, they don't sell those in your size. I'm sorry, it's not fair. They do not make enough supportive garments for those of you who are full chested. We are going to begin to add our layers. We're gonna get this all pinned, and then I'm gonna make some straps, and we're gonna add those in the seam at the same time. And I'm going to begin to pull the gathering stitch. And the reason that I gather each piece separately is because on the inspiration pic, it looks like those ruffles are nice and full. They don't look like they're all moving together. So I gathered them separately so that I'll have separate, different gathers. And we're gonna see how this works. Finally. All right, before we go back to the sewing machine, I want to cut some straps. So these are the sleeves. That's about all the fabric I have left from this shirt. And I'm going to cut 4 1-inch strips from this. So I'm gonna take these to the sewing machine and sew each one in half, good side to good side. And I'm actually gonna sew the end and then all along the edge. And then I'm gonna flip them right side out. And then I'm gonna iron them. All right, here's my straps all ironed. Before I sew this together, let's put them in the seam. We're gonna go and sew that seam together. In order to keep my layers going down and not flopping up. I kind of want to sew down these 2 layers and then just have that one on top so it looks like it's not sewn down. And now I need to take this button off and create another buttonhole. All right, it looks almost exactly like the ones that are there already. Oh snap! Yay! Now I just have to put the actual button on there. All right, so let's see how this one turned out. Yes, I am loving this print. I was really nervous about this being too much print, but I really like it, and I'm really surprised. And I was worried that the ruffles would be too much, like I would start to look a little circusy, but I think definitely sewing them down a little bit just to, you know, keep them from popping up so much made it absolutely perfect. So which one was your favorite, the fuchsia one or the printed one? I'm curious to see which one is your favorite. Let me know in the comments below. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I have a whole host of other videos for you to watch right here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.